Hey everybody, it's Transmissions from the Outpost here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel, where we review movies. Quick, dirty, painless, unless they're good, and then we talk about them for a long time. Unfortunately, the movie I'm talking about today is not good. It is utter trash, and that is Beetlejuice, the sequel to the classic 80s film Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton. Of course, he comes back to direct the sequel. I'm getting rid of most of my streaming services out of sheer spite for these awful large corporations, and so I'm just going through and like catching up on some stuff that I was like, I'd like to watch that at some point in time. And so Beetlejuice was one. My fiance and I sat down to watch this, and wow, this is one of the worst kind of like sequels to a classic film I think I've ever seen. I'm not going to talk a long time about this. Essentially, what the story is here, if there is one at all, it is we obviously were 30, 40 years in the future now. Winona Ryder is now a grown woman, still with the same hairstyle, still with the same clothes. She has a daughter played by Jenna Ortega, who is in literally everything. It's like Jenna Ortega and Pedro Pascal. If the two of them ever get into a movie together, it's probably going to just implode cinema. Uh, Jenna Ortega is like not a believer in her mom's ability to see spirits, and so there's friction between there because her dad died, and her Winona Ryder Lydia can't see the spirit of her dad, and that's why Jenna Ortega thinks that it's all bullshit. You've got God, I just watched this movie. I'm trying to figure out and remember what the hell the plot was. It's all over the place. Ultimately, they got to go back to the original house for reasons. Oh yeah, Lydia's dad dies. I can't remember the actor's name. I don't know if he is actually dead in real life, or I think he was like a pedo or something like that. But they didn't bring him back into the movie. They kind of kill him off. I think he like crashes in a plane crash, gets eaten by a shark or some shit like that, and it's like this weird little stop motion animation sequence. Anyway, they got to go back to the house for a funeral and all of that stuff. So that's kind of how you get the main cast from the original back to the original house. Meanwhile, what's going on with Beetlejuice? Monica Bellucci apparently was a soul sucker back in the day, and Beetlejuice hacked her up because they were going to get married, or they did get married, or some shit. I don't even remember. And she's back. She just randomly comes back to life because a bunch of boxes with all of her body parts open up and they all come together. Now she's pissed off and she wants to go back to get back with Beetlejuice. But of course, Beetlejuice still wants to marry Lydia. Had a thing for her for the last 30, 40 years. And Lydia has to ask for Beetlejuice's help to, save her daughter. This thing is trash, man. Like I cannot believe how bad this movie was. I was there just to see. I didn't even want much from it. I didn't have great expectations for anything like that. I just wanted to watch kind of like a fun, entertaining stuff. And man, has Tim Burton lost it? Like, what happened? The art design of this movie, I mean, I thought it was horrible. It looks like something that I would shoot. And what I have, it's like when they're kind of in the afterlife, it's the greatest hits, everything you liked from the original Beetlejuice, it's there just in this very artificial. In the 80s, it had a charm to it. It had practical effects. It had it just looked dirtier, grittier, because it didn't have a ton of money with it. With this, I'm sure they put tens of millions of dollars towards it. Remember those things in the original Beetlejuice? The German expressionism stuff that Tim Burton loves so much, with the angular hallways and the afterlife and all that. Let's just do that, but then let's just put a light off camera that just floods it with colors that change every 3 seconds. I did that. It was a movie called Bed and Breakfast. So it's like, I get it. It kind of looks cool, but when you do that kind of shit now, it looks so different than what the original Beetlejuice looked like. And you got to have your sandworms in here and all of that. And I'm just like, there's no reason for this movie to exist. None at all. Michael Keaton, he's in this movie for maybe 10 minutes. It's not a lot. Monica Bellucci, who's ostensibly the antagonist in this movie, is in it for even less. That whole side plot of her trying to, like, sucking the souls out of people to try to get to Beetlejuice does not need to be in this movie at all. Not at all. There's literally no reason that was in there, other than it just clutters an already cluttered movie that's unfocused. The drama between um, Lydia and her daughter Jenna Ortega is dumb. It's like, come on, how do you not believe that your mom can see all these ghosts and spirits and shit like that? It just felt forced. There were no laughs in this. Well, I take it back. There was one moment with Beetlejuice that I thought was pretty funny, and it happens kind of like in this therapist's office. Michael Keaton's doing the best he can with the garbage that they gave him. There's all of these singing numbers now. In the original, there's a very famous singing number. Of course, we got to replicate that with a completely different song, and it's just not as cool. It's worse than the original, and it's like, if something's worse, why would you make the choice to do it? And you do it even longer than in the original. The song goes on and on and on, and you're like, God, I don't want to see Beetlejuice lip syncing this song for the next 8 minutes. Ugh. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot more to say about this. There's really nothing that I liked about this movie at all. Beetlejuice. I hear they're making another one. I'm sure it'll be called Beetlejuice. But damn, this was a huge disappointment. It's ugly to look at. It's got stupid plot lines that make no sense. Gina Davis, obviously the original two, Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, they don't come back for this one. So if you're looking for them to make a cameo, you will be sorely disappointed. They do not show up in this. I can't remember the stupid reason they give. Oh, they've found a loophole and they got them out of the afterlife or some stupid shit like that. Ends the same way pretty much that the original does. Sandworms come and eat people. No creativity in this at all. No, there's just no heart. Dare I say, there's no spirit in Beetlejuice. It's just bad. Holy cow. I'm gonna give Beetlejuice a D- rating. The only reason I'm not going to give it an F is because I did laugh once during that therapy session with Beetlejuice, which I thought was kind of cool. And of course, Monica Bellucci, even though she's in it for like 5 seconds of the movie, she looks great as the sort of soul sucker. Always good to see Monica Bellucci getting work and stuff. But yeah, D-. Whew. Beetlejuice, awful.